on current events, family, and finance.
So be sure to log on each week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. to catch Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR.
Tune in.
What's up, y'all? We are back. This is Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR. And of course, I'm JR. And King, if you've gone from guest to co-host,
I guess
give me
so.
some.
Listen, here we go.
You know? So I have a special co-host today. And so how you doing today?
Man, I'm doing good. Today was one of those long days, but I can't complain.
Well, same here. It was a long day, but I can't
It was
complain
productive.
either.
It was
You know,
productive.
but if I had a long day and I was looking as good as you, I would have a long day every day.
Do you hear me? Okay.
You know,
Oh, okay.
you know. So, by the way, we will acknowledge the. In fact, Charlie may be here later,
Yeah.
and if she's not, we're gonna roll on.
We're
You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna keep going.
But I will acknowledge our alter egos, the fly guy and the fly girls. Don't call it a comeback because I've been fly. And Charlie, of course, is Fly Money. We got our producer Kim there in the back working the devices. And she is this shit's fly. What's up, Kim? She's a little louder today. Y'all can probably hear her. Got Gabe over there on the knobs and faders. What's up, Gabe? Man, we are all good in the place,
I love it.
So you said you had a busy day.
Yeah. Busy day, working with clients, working with agents, doing what I do, trying to make some moves, and trying to make a little change, make some big money.
Oh well, and if you remember,
people's lives,
change people's lives and change yours in the process.
Absolutely.
If y'all remember, she is an entrepreneur. You're doing several businesses, right?
Yes, but primarily I am a real estate agent here in the DFW area. I help clients if they're looking to buy, sell, lease, or invest in properties. So hit me up as A Latrice on Facebook, or you can connect with me 214-680-3341. I have no idea which camera to look in. Okay.
There she is.
I'm over here. But connect with me. Most definitely I love to help you along your real estate journey. So I make dreams come true. I'm a dream maker. Hear me?
There you go. Yeah. Starting with yours, huh?
Starting with mine.
There you go. So this event that's coming up where the men and women are going to be talking about relationships and things.
Fun. You're going to be there, right?
Yes, I'm going to be there.
Because I know you got some stuff to say.
I got some things to say.
Okay. So we do have quite a beautiful panel lined up of some beautiful young ladies and some young men, a lot of people from different walks of life, that do different things. So what we're doing is we're having a Verbal Vibes conversation party on May the 6th. It's going to start at 6:00. You can definitely go to Eventbrite and register. We'd love to see you there. So it's an event to where we're going to get a lot of people such as ourselves in a room, and we're just going to have conversation on different topics. No topic is left off the table. So the topics that you're just having a question for a man or woman, just a question in general, we have it to where you can ask the question anonymously, and we try to get different perspectives. So we may say, hey, let's get 2 men and 2 women to answer this question so we can get those different perspectives on that. So it's basically trying to get us in a room so we can try to understand each other a lot better and where we're coming from.
Okay, well let's play with that a little bit.
Okay.
In fact, Gabe, why don't you ask both of us a question about relationships, and then we'll just off the cuff,
okay,
and we'll answer. Where we are with relationships.
How old are you again, Gabe? 25. So from a 25-year-old perspective, what would be a question that you would have about a relationship?
Let me think about this.
And you could, that you have one for me as a man and one for her as a woman. Yeah, Gabe said, let me think about this.
Let me see. Ask a question, then you get the perspective of a man and then the perspective
of a woman. Yeah.
Right.
Kim is feeding. I'm afraid of this now.
All right, Kim just fed me one, and then I'm gonna give mine too.
Okay.
So she asked, "Is chivalry dead?"
Oh wow.
Okay, now is that from a male perspective?
From both perspectives.
From both perspectives.
Okay.
So
I'll let you answer first. Is chivalry dead? And it's coming from a young woman. Well, I guess they're both asking that question.
Yeah.
Is chivalry dead from your perspective?
Chivalry is not dead in my world. Now,
what does chivalry mean? Let's put that out there first.
Well, chivalry I believe the root or etymology of the word, springs up from the King Arthur days, and being chivalrous, and protecting the crown, protecting the kingdom, being willing to fight for the damsel that of your choice, being willing to protect her, being willing to provide for her.
Okay.
Now, today, of course, we're not jousting, and we're not doing all that kind of stuff. But I personally, I enjoy opening doors for women. In fact, I have to argue with women about not opening the door.
I've heard that from some gentlemen, to where it's like, don't open my door, don't pull out my chair. Some women don't want that. I've heard that from some gentlemen saying that.
But most of the women that I've run into, for the most part, do want it, but they're so used to not getting it that they just instinctually do it for themselves. So that's what they tell me. Now they could be, but yeah, I mean, I like, rubbing feet, body massages, cooking as long as these things are, and then as long as there's some reciprocity in the process.
Absolutely.
So in my world, no, I guess it's not there. So,
okay. What do you think? Because it is an age difference here. I know everybody can't see you, but it's an age difference. So in your era, what do you think about chivalry?
If I'm talking about me specifically, no, it's not dead at all. I was raised like that. Like, I have my parents are in their 60s, so I was raised by older parents. They taught me kind of like how to move when it concerns women and all of that. Like, so I've always been respectful. I've always been a protector. I've always been all of those things that come with chivalry. From a generational perspective,
as far as your peers,
it's over.
Wow.
I see a lot of, because it's so easy and convenient to start relationships. I start interactions today. Just because we got so much access to social media, people don't know how to interact in that way a lot of times. But I think that plays a massive role in how people interact in general, even within chivalry, because it's not accepted. You look like a sucker or a simp if you're chivalrous today, which is kind of crazy to me, but it speaks to what you were talking about. So,
well, it's funny that you say that about, and I'm going to answer the question as well, but it's funny that you say that the social media, all of the things that we have access to see into other people's lives, you would think, or I would think, that having social media would teach you how you could behave in different situations, right?
Right.
However, I think it might do more damaging than hurt, because now it's just like, you're not learning these things.
No.
You know what I mean? So, when it does come to chivalry, do I believe that chivalry is a lost concept? I do not. Have I been a witness of me being a woman? Have I been a witness to men that do and men that don't? Yes. And it's amazing how, back up, as a woman, I want to be protected.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I want to feel protected, not just be.
Yeah.
Because you could protect me, but I don't feel protected. It's not the same thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I want to feel protected. I want to be protected. I do want to be provided for. And let me be clear, because a lot of misconception on that. When I say provided for, I'm not just saying it's about your money and the things that you can buy.
Yes.
Provided. I want my heart to be protected. I want my safety to be protected. I want everything within this circle to be protected, provided with me, if I'm hurt, if I need to talk to somebody, if I, provide those things, not just physical things. Right. I, as a woman, I have, I've encountered, and here recently, I've encountered where chivalry is way more important than I even thought it was, and it's something that, it makes you want to be a girl, makes you want to be a lady, you know, it makes you want to, sip your tea with your finger out and just, I'm not going to worry about nothing, because I don't even have to turn my back when somebody walks in a room.
Speaking of sipping
sipping
with our finger out.
I'm with you. Okay. Listen, this is just a little juice, y'all. Just a little juice.
This is a Moscato d'Asti, so it is a sparkling, But I'm snitching on us. I ain't throwing you under the bus.
We both under the bus, right? Yeah. But I think I don't think chivalry's dead, and I do believe that there are some men who do live by those guidelines. Unfortunately, I don't think it's the younger generation, and I think it's a gap that's been there. Either somebody's not teaching them or they don't know. However, it's a lot of our young men that are being raised by women as well. So I can't teach you chivalry. I can't teach you how to be a man because I've raised 2 boys too, but I can teach you what women like and what women don't like. So when my oldest is 24 and my youngest is 21, and one thing they are always commenting on is that they are really, really good gentlemen. They do open doors, not just for young ladies, for myself as well.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm in a house, you know, even small things, if I'm in a house and I'm in a house full of men, I'm not going to get up and answer the door if somebody comes knock, because that's not my lane. You know what I mean? My son will quickly say, I don't even flinch, you know, let me go to the door. Let me see, you know, but women, if they knew what that felt like to just be a woman, I'll let you open up a door, pull out a chair, dodge a bullet and everything. And all I got to do is cook you some beans.
Well, you know, I mean, you
know what I
might,
mean, but
well, no, I wouldn't say that.
You're not just gonna boil it down to the beans now. You need a little more than that.
But I mean, I do also believe that this might not be nice, but women have to be deserving of it too. Do you know what I mean? It has to be. It's a give and take. Every relationship, whether you want to call it, is a give and take. You know, it's a give. I don't want nothing from you. Yes, you do. It's a give and take. It just is, you know. And you know, some women, they want everything, but don't want to be what that man needs. Like I told a young lady, you know, was having women talking. You know, we get together. We talk about y'all. That's what we do, right? So we're sitting here talking, and it's like, oh, you know, I want a man that looks like this, that drives this, that's this tall, makes this money, lives like this and this and this. I said, girl, yes. I said, but he ain't gonna be looking for you. He not, because I'm not gonna say the place because that's gonna offend people, but he's not gonna be looking for you. You're not the type of woman that type of man is going to be looking for. Now, if you want to have that type of man, you need to be preparing yourself to be that type of woman that he's looking for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Don't have 15 kids. Not saying don't have kids. Don't have 15 kids and want a man that's under 25 and he's making, you know what I'm saying, $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
And he has no children.
Yeah, and I just wanted to comment on the don't have kids because I have kids. Kids help us mature. However, I believe it was Wannabe Starting Something, Michael Jackson, when he said, if you can't feed the baby, don't have the baby. You know what I'm saying? Because part of what we're dealing with when we're talking about this gap is people that weren't spiritually, emotionally, financially prepared to have a child. And so they don't know how to teach these things because they don't know themselves, you know, and that gap gets wider and wider. And you know, my job, my professional job is based on, you know, going into places and talking to targeted audience that the government knows wasn't given these things. You know, and the effect it has on them not being given these things, you know. So, but you had a question too, right, Gabe?
Yeah. So, shifting gears a little bit, but I wanted to know, first of all, individually, like, what is your communication styles, and how do you effectively communicate within a relationship?
You go first this time.
That's a really good question, and it's that's a very important question. You know, how do I communicate? I am a communicator. Like, you know, I will say what I don't like, you know, or what I don't care for. I will say what I do like, you know. I will say, you know, I want to communicate on all levels, you know. Let's talk about it. So first and foremost for me, when it goes into a relationship, right, is number one things that's important in the beginning to me is that person is my friend. You know what I mean? Because I want to have a friendship relationship to where you know, like I can talk to Kim, I call her and talk about anything without any repercussions, without feeling judged or anything. So in a relationship, I want to have that platform first. So then it's a comfortable conversation on any levels, like, oh, you know, and then you can joke and be happy. Oh, you're not wearing them shoes, are you? Right? You know, you're not, you know, but you can.
These are my favorite shoes.
Because what's funny is friendships can last a lot longer and through so much versus relationships. Once you make somebody mad, oh, I'm out of here. But you've been friends with somebody since childhood, you don't agree with everything they do, and but you
Mhm.
stayed friends because you have a certain way that you treat them and they treat you, and you accept them for who they are. So when it comes to communication, I'm open to receive. I do want to. I want to have it to where if it's something that you don't care for, let's discuss it. Let's have that conversation, because I want to know how to be a better me for you too, right? We can only grow together successfully. And now I do have a struggle. One of my struggles is being able to talk about my inner feelings. And that really doesn't necessarily have to directly deal with that person. That's just my life things. That's one of my hiccups, my baggage, right? So when it's like my feelings are hurt, it's a tough conversation for me to have. Now if I'm, pissed off or I'm mad, well, let's go, right? But when it involves my feelings, those are unfamiliar feelings for me, because it's just like, it's heavy, But I really work through that because I want you to know how I feel. And I want to know how you feel, because I don't want to do this guesswork. Like, when I was younger and 20 something and I was married, I remember my ex-husband asked one time, well, what can I do to make you happy? I didn't know how to answer him. I was like, well, I know one thing, what you're doing now don't make me happy, but I don't know how to tell you what to do to make me happy, because I don't know. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So I didn't know how to put those into words. But now, I want somebody that's going to pull conversation out of me, pull that out of me. Like, hey, let's talk. And I want to know how they feel too. So I'm a communicator.
Okay.
I don't mind if it's yelling. I prefer not yelling. I feel like whatever you do, communicate, write a letter. If you're going to talk and it gets loud, I'd rather talk loud than not talk at all.
Okay. Style. That's definitely a good question. I guess I'm a direct person. I really have studied linguistics, the use of language, and one of the things I noticed growing up was how adults used words to manipulate each other. Let me rephrase it. Use the context of words to manipulate each other. I'm gonna use it in this context to get this result, and I'm gonna use the same word in this context to get this result, and that makes the communicative process complicated.
For example, what would be an example? Like, because what came to mind when you said that was like the word submit. Some people see that as a negative connotation. Some people, but I know a lot of men want to use that word. You know what I'm saying? And I have a whole comment on that, but I don't. Yeah.
Well, I believe in not necessarily submission, but subjection, and there is a difference. I don't want to be anyone's boss. He's my father, and that my job is to be the best son I can be for him, first of all. So and it took me a while to understand that. And then even when you said but anyway, let me try to stick to the answer. But because I am aware of how people use words to manipulate each other, and how most politicians have been through debate training and all of that, because they know the power of semantics. So I prefer not to have any semantics when I communicate with someone, especially if it's someone that's close to me. I prefer just to use the King's English, for lack of a better description.
So let me ask you, because this kind of brings something to my head real quick, because I'm wondering, is that a difficult thing to do when communicating with women who oftentimes talk from a place of emotion?
It's very difficult, and you took it where I was going. It's very difficult because women do communicate from a place of emotion often, and because they'll say something and then expect you to understand what they've said when they didn't say.
You're supposed to just
You're supposed to know already.
Well,
like,
see,
how you don't know?
And
when I say I'm okay, I'm not okay.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
Well, those kind of things I can tell. Okay, but if a woman says to me, I'm okay with that, but you're not okay with that, or with a part of it, but you don't want to go through the process. Because another thing about my communication style is that you can say anything to me respectfully. You can say anything to me. You know, you can tell me to, even get off my ass or whatever. Just talk to me respectfully. But the thing of it is that, is that if we are, and I won't say you, if we are as man and woman, if we are using words to get a result instead of communicating, then, you know what I'm saying? Then really, it's over before it starts.
Right.
And it's hard for me to because I don't know if you guys have heard of True Colors. It's one of these things. It's one of those personality things. I in True Colors, I'm a green. I'm kind of the Spock. I just kind of say, I kind of whittle it, because to me, emotions in logical conversations cause problems. There's a place for emotions, but when it comes to dealing with issues, they usually have to be dealt with from a place of logic.
Right. But I just didn't say, but however, like he was saying, women, we are emotional. I wish I wasn't as emotional as I am.
Pull your mic a little closer.
Would be easier.
Pull your mic a little closer.
Thank you. I think life would be a little bit easier if I wasn't, as emotional as I am. And it's, however, men are a bit more logical. Women are emotion. For me, a personal level, what I've learned to do is I'm a 24-hour person. So if I'm feeling certain type of way, I say, well, let me give 24 hours to think about it, or to let me make sure I have my words together. Because if I think off emotion, sometimes it doesn't come out right, or I get more hurt. You know what I mean? So let me think on this 24 hours of what I really like to say, especially if it's somebody I care about. You know what I mean? But we are emotional. So how as a man, I think it is somewhat difficult to especially express yourself with a woman when it is emotions, right?
Right.
I'm sure you have to have a way that you deal with a certain woman with the mittens on, because, I'm pretty sure I have to be dealt with that in some occasions or not, right?
Well, yeah.
But women are emotional. I don't know if we can stop that. I think we could try to make sense of it. But I think some men are like too logical. Like, you can't tell me that doesn't hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because it doesn't make sense to you.
I think a lot of men dismiss the fact that women's emotions do matter. Because I think in a lot of situations, like, we're so to the point, we're like, I don't know if you've ever took the DISC test, but we're all primarily like D personality types. Like, let's get to the solution and keep it moving. Like, it's not that serious. And so for women, the situation can look totally different, and we tend to dismiss that. And vice versa, it goes both ways. But
you know what? I don't mind taking 2 weeks to get to the solution. I don't want to have to get to it again 3 days later. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the solution is, let's get to the solution. But once we get to that solution,
let's bury it. Like, it's over with.
That sounds good in theory.
Once we get to that solution, it's like building a house. I don't have to go back and remortar the same brick I just remortared. You know what I'm saying? So
I'll say this. But women's hormones too. So every 30 days, 15 to 30 days, the hormones are at a different level. So I might get upset about it again, or maybe not that same situation, or every 30 days, it just might be like, okay, she tripping.
And
you know what I'm saying?
And if I know
she is just bugging.
Yeah.
She liked Oreo cookies last week, but now Oreo cookies seem to be a problem.
Not done bought a whole bag, though.
Right. But Mama, you said, listen, I don't like them this week. I just get them out the house. They stink, right?
But one thing that you said too that I wanted to comment on is that when you said that your husband used to ask you how could he make you happy, and you said that I don't know, but what you're doing now doesn't make me happy. And the make me happy conversation is the conversation between men and women that is big. I mean, the whole concept of making someone happy, and I don't believe that you can make anyone happy. I believe that everyone's happiness belongs to them. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, if you can make me happy, then you have the power over me that God gave me. You see what I'm saying? My joy belongs to me.
Now, joy, yes, I hear what you're saying, but somebody can make you sad also.
Well, someone can disturb my peace.
Okay.
But yes, they can disturb my peace, but they can't make me unhappy. That's a choice. They can disturb my peace, and once my peace is disturbed, then it's up to me how to respond or react to my
Mhm.
peace being disturbed. I can
Mhm.
react to it by becoming unhappy.
Mhm.
But you know what I'm saying? But it's
I
not.
think what you're
I
speaking about
absolutely
is
agree
joy,
with
though.
what you're saying.
I agree with you as
I-
well.
right.
But
I'm saying it again.
I was just saying I agree as well. I just feel like you're speaking more to joy than happiness.
Right. You're right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
now those
like-
two different things are different. So I
Mhm.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I do believe that people can add to your happiness. And if you're not automatically adding, I think if you're not adding, you're automatically subtracting. That's just how I
Mhm.
believe. And I'm not saying someone, make me happy because I need you to just make me happy, right? But I think some people can play a role in your happiness.
They should contribute to your overall well-being. If someone's in your life, they
Mhm.
should
Mhm.
contribute to your overall well-being.
Mhm.
And if they are not contributing, then that becomes the issue that needs to be dealt with.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm not saying that a person shouldn't do things that make you smile. You know what I'm saying? They should
Mhm.
do things that make you laugh. They should do things. They should be able to share moments with you that you can be a better person after sharing that moment.
Mhm.
You know, so
Yeah, well, I do believe people can bring happiness to your life. I really, and I guess I look at it like this, as far as like my grandson, he absolutely brings happiness and joy to my life, even on a sad day or a day that's not so great. Just to hold him and how he exudes that energy and that sunshine, it makes me happy. It can pull me from a place where, like, you know what, it's good. You know what I mean? Because the innocence of a child, just bring that to me. Being in a positive relationship that's not so negative. Not saying that person just makes you happy every day, but it's like, man, it makes you really see that you can really be happy in different situations. Like, this person really brings happiness to my life. You know what I mean? Even before them, you may have been happy, you may have been you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, but then it's like, man, this is really fun. This is great, right?
and I guess see in this and audience, this is the men women perspective. I I definitely I will acquiesce or agree to the small difference between happiness and joy, because joy is really a spiritual thing.
Mhm.
But I just, in order for me to be the best me for you, then I have to inspire me. And there's,
That's a
what I'm
fact.
saying, I can't wait for other people to do that. I have to inspire
No,
me.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Now that's an absolute. That's an
and
absolute.
and if I inspire me, then I'm going to be happy. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That my happiness is going to be centered around me inspiring me,
Now there's some
Yeah.
things some people are unhappy, and there's nothing you can do to make them
because
happy.
they're choosing
just
to be
unhappy.
Yeah, they're choosing
and
to be.
I'm gonna say this. I understand it's a choice. I get that.
Yeah.
But I would also, I guess I would think both, because some people, I don't know if they just don't know how to come from that
There you
unhappy
go.
place. But I don't think a lot of people choose to want to be hurt and sad. And I'll say this, I've come from a place where I've been around people who are severely depressed.
Mhm.
And I would beg to say, I would say that anybody you go to that's in a sad place on a consistent basis, hey, you're choosing to be sad, just be happy, get over it. I don't think it's just that easy.
Well,
you
no,
know what I mean?
and it's not. And I agree with you. So you can't make a choice if you don't know that you have a choice to make.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So there are some people that are unhappy and they don't know that they have a choice. They don't know they have a choice.
But that could be what, from my understanding, it could be chemical imbalance. That can be depression, because depression is a real thing.
And it is.
That's a very real thing.
And again, I just have to know how, because I've been severely depressed.
Mhm.
Severely depressed. But I had to, and this is how I dealt with it. But if my relationship with God is right, I'm going to struggle, but I'm not going to be depressed. If my relationship with God is right, because he reminds me that I may weep for a night, but joy becomes in the morning. He reminds me that he is my help and my strength. He reminds me of these things. So and the blessings and the promise that I get from those things. So I'm not, it doesn't mean I'm not going to struggle, because I am, because iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to be depressed. Now, when I was depressed, I wasn't right with God, and that's just my take on it. I'm not even asking anybody else to have that take on it. But that's
everybody's individual,
Right.
and everybody has their reasons why they feel or don't feel a certain way. But I would also ask, like, if it's a choice, because I'm thinking sometimes it may be, if it's a choice, right? If you're with somebody in a relationship and you're in an unhappy relationship, I don't know, maybe she or he or whatever it is, you're not in a happy place, right?
Yes.
But if you choose to be happy, I'm gonna choose to be happy regardless. You don't have to get divorced. You don't have to break up with nobody. You can just choose to be happy, right?
Well, now I
I'm just gonna wake up happy. I don't care.
A minute ago I did say I agree with you that the people in your life should contribute
right
to your happiness.
Correct.
And if they are not contributing, then your happiness is not the issue. That's the issue. You know what I'm saying? And that issue has to be dealt with. A choice needs to be made. Because you can, if you wallow in the mud long enough, you're gonna turn into somebody that likes to wallow in the mud. Where that's that part of our humanity doesn't go away. So
why would you want to do that? I don't know, but hey,
exactly. But I'm just, so we can't constantly have negative influences around us and expect to stay positive. So if people in our lives are negative influences, if they are bringing out the worst in us instead of the best in us,
I can say what you're around is what you become.
Right. Yeah. So we have to make that choice so that we can continue to make healthy choices for ourselves.
Right.
Because eventually that is going to cause a state of unhappiness if you are constantly around someone that is robbing you of your
draining.
peace.
If you're around a negative person, it's so draining. Like, oh my God.
So Gabe,
in your life?
we should ask him a question, huh?
So let me see what question we're gonna ask him.
Well, let's see. Because Gabe is 25. Okay. Let me ask you this. Do you think that a man needs to be older than a woman in a relationship?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, you probably asking.
Do you date older women or younger women?
I was just about to say I've only dated older women, except for one person. But yeah, so my experience, definitely not. I've had the most peace in the relationships I've ever had with older women. So
let me ask the B side to that then.
Go ahead.
Do you think that you get along with older women because of your level of maturity?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
It's more so because of how I was raised. Like,
yeah. And as I say, you said the age of your parents, and I could have guessed that you dated older women as well, just by how you act, and your maturity level. And maturity level, yes, but I think it's just your personality. If I were to guess, I would have guessed you dated older women.
Yeah.
So do you think in general that men need to be older than women in relationships?
I do not. I believe that whatever works for you works for you. Me typically, I typically am not attracted to younger men.
I would have guessed that too.
I'm not attracted. I've dated, not dated. I've met, a couple of gentlemen like, oh, they're really nice. As soon as they say their age, it's just like everything disappears for me. Like, why, guys? And I don't know what that is. It's like I just typically don't date
think
younger
you do know
men.
what it is, but I'm not saying.
Well, I don't really because I was like, I might need to try that because these older men are listen here.
well, I guess that brings me to the. I think they may be older in age, but not older in maturity, which is where I was going with.
But I don't think there's a certain age that makes you mature. Like I don't think you turn 16,
not.
You turn 17, you turn 72.
There's really not.
I think it's just when you're ready to be the type of man that you're ready to be,
Yeah.
and there's a woman that accept you for that, and vice versa.
I mean, David was the most mature person in that story, and he was the youngest, right? You know what I'm saying? So
life will grow you up quick.
You said who?
Life will grow you up quick.
You would think.
In a lot of cases. I mean, it depends on how you internalize what you're going through.
Right. And I think it's really kind of where how you were raised and where you come from, because I'm using an example. Let's just say you was in another country, right? A lot of things that our young people do, other countries, they've been doing that since they were 4. You know what I mean? Like they've been chopping wood and I'm like, man, you cooking a whole meal and you 5, right? But it's just how we rock. But that's for real.
Yeah,
you bearing children at 14. Listen, I don't even like boys until 17. Like, but I don't understand. But anyways, but it's just the culture, and that's how we're raised too. I'm not sure if it has to do with being older. I think that's just me. I think I've always been the type where I've always wanted some like a protector, right? I always wanted to feel safe. So I've always just felt safe as older guy. Like, because I had a friend, as soon as he told me his age, it was like, I just didn't see him the same. I'm like, listen, this is just I'm gonna be like this age, and you're gonna be just this age.
So what do you call older and younger?
For me, I think
Yes.
it's, like I said, I think it depends on the person. I think it depends on the person. For me, younger for me, so too young for me is if I have a guy, well, I wouldn't, but too young for me would be if I think they could be my son's age. I mean, could be my son's friend.
Right.
Because one thing that is a fear that I would have a fear on is walking in somewhere and my son be like, "What's up, bro?" Like, that would be terrible.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that would be.
They'd be like
That's
best
crazy.
friends.
Yeah.
No. Oh, I could
Being
do
there
it.
playing video games with him.
I'm breaking out in sweats now. That is a fear. Y'all, over to the house, bro. What's up?
Didn't I see that in a Medea
Remember when
movie?
we was in school?
I'm just saying, you were talking, and I'm like, it's coming like,
No,
Yeah.
I would just
You know,
die, man.
the mom was dating the son's
man.
friend, and yeah, but
No.
and she knew he was his
I don't
friend,
know
but
if he come in the house to see me or him. Like, listen, no, that is, oh my God, I would just die. But then too old. For me, I guess I've never thought of what a too old is, because I feel like, at the age I'm at, I still feel young. You know what I'm saying? I still want to do stuff. I want to act the person. I don't want you to sit in the rocking chair waiting to die unless you got insurance or something. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got an after death plan.
and I'm in it.
And I'm in it. That's right. I roll you right on around. But seriously, I was just saying, I want you. I want to have adventures and do things and make memories and explore the world and do those things. When I retired, I don't want to be just ready to die. When I retire, I don't want to be ready to die. You know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna wait till like my kids are grown now, and let me tell you something. At first, it was tough. I don't have nothing to do with my life because I've been a mother all my life that I know. Now it's like they're like, "Mama, what you doing Friday?" Not babysit. I babysit during the week. I babysit during the week. I'm trying to go out like you.
You're trying to get my groove
I'm
on.
not. I don't got long babies.
Yeah.
You do. That's your responsibility.
Yeah.
But it's I do. I want to, enjoy this other half of my life, exploring, and I don't want my body to be broke down or don't have enough time to do anything or, be gumming on a pork chop. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
Right, man. No.
But
and
that's an important aspect of a relationship, I think, is that people meet each other, and whatever vision they have of each other, that was that vision of that person. And then I get you, and I let myself go, and so the vision you have of me now is you there's no way that you could have known what I would have looked like after letting myself go.
Well, if you let yourself go, sir, you all right. You hear me? That's good. Because my thing is this too, though. I think that I do want to grow old with somebody, as they say. You know what I mean? I want to have those, sitting on a park bench, having a unspoken conversation with the person that I'm with. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be where he just knows what I need before I know what I need, and vice versa. I know what he needs before he knows what he needs. So I can pull out a sandwich and he didn't even know he was hungry. You know what I mean? So I want those, but I think it's important to build those memories because, it may very well come a time where I'm not as active or he's not as active, right? But we can sit there and still live in these memories and we can do them together. You know,
and that's
so we are going to age. That's inevitable.
Well, yeah, I was about to
age,
say
right?
that we're going to age, but I believe that it's important to stay in the game. You know what I'm saying? And not just not necessarily a courting game, because even if I'm with someone, I want to be the best me, I can be for me first, and then for that person.
But I think a person that you wanted to be with, whether it's your wife or whatever people want to have, their spouse, whatever, I think that they will keep you young too. You know what I'm saying? Or keep you active, because you're going to want to move around and do things, and, might be a little slower, and that's okay. Right. But, people, the statistics say, you live longer when you have a companion.
Well, you live longer if you take care of yourself.
That too, of course.
I'm a big, because in the relationships I've had, I'm usually, because Charlamagne's not here to call me old, but I'm, so I kind of missed that. Ain't nobody called me old one time today.
Well, we did. We just didn't say it out loud.
Oh, okay. Sabotage. But for y'all that might not know, I'm about to be 67.
Okay.
And most of the relationships I have, I've been with younger, especially in this stage of my life. I've been with younger women, not necessarily because I wanted to be with younger women, but because most women
had to want to be with a younger woman. You was with a younger woman.
Well,
did they make you?
No. See, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. I'm just saying that what
you're gonna be with me. I'm young.
No, that wouldn't work at all. That wouldn't work at all. No, I'm just saying that when I say younger, I mean younger than me. I don't mean like,
Have you ever dated older women? Older woman?
Someone older than me? When I was younger.
Okay.
I mean,
I don't know why that's funny. Because you say you're how old? Right.
Well, a younger woman that I've dated. I mean,
she was 18. I'm just playing.
Well, I mean, I have that same issue that you do, because my daughter is, she proudly says that she's about to be 50.
And she's absolutely gorgeous.
So now
you date somebody younger than your
daughter.
So
if I date somebody younger than my daughter,
that's weird.
Yeah.
My stepmom younger than me. Oh
right.
My God.
Right.
That'd be terrible.
I've seen it happen.
And it has happened.
Well, I mean, but have you seen it happen?
Yes.
How does it work when it happens? I mean, have you seen it work?
They might be BFFs. I don't know. Your stepmama younger than your daughter.
It's a weird dynamic.
It has to be
It's a weird dynamic.
Because not being able to go to your parent figure for advice, for example. You know what I'm saying?
But maybe that's just not the responsibility of that step parent. Like,
yeah, let's
get back to that.
Right.
Let's stay on topic.
What's the age difference?
Well,
2 years, 5 years, 20,
maybe 7 years younger.
Oh my gosh!
I'm
just
yeah, but but I mean, I mean, think about the tree of life for a minute. Philosophically,
he said the whole tree of life.
I'm saying when you are young,
you have the roots.
The roots. When you're young, when you 15, or younger, somebody that's 17 is old. You know what I'm saying? 17 don't want to hang with 15-year-olds. You know what I'm saying? So when you're young, those years matter.
Yeah.
And then it don't matter in the middle, but it matters on this end, and then it matters again on this end. So I'm on the end where it matters again.
Tree thing is confusing.
The tree of life. She don't know nothing about the tree of life though. She young.
But I'm just saying. That
when you ain't planted the seed yet.
She said trees got roots.
Wait, I need somebody in the audience to help me, because I'm being attacked from all sides over here.
No, we just want to know how young is too young. So right now, at the age you are now, what would be the youngest that you would date?
I would have to say somewhere around probably 55, and even then, because that's 5 years older than my oldest daughter, and a person that's 5 years older than my daughter may be able to teach my daughter something, maybe.
At 50?
And I'm saying. Yeah, I mean, because if a person starts off, I mean, a 5-year-old and a baby, and if they transgress through life together, at a similar pace, then the 55-year-old is going to be able to teach the 50-year-old some things.
Well, not really, because again, I'm not going to say not really, maybe so.
Yeah.
But at this age, if you're dating if you're dating somebody that's 55 and your daughter's 50, they're really the same age.
Well, see, now you're agreeing with what I said a minute ago, which is
a woman's perspective.
Which I'm saying she's agreeing with what I said a minute ago, which is when you're young, the 17-year-old
That's
don't want to
true.
be with the 15-year-old. They're too young. But it's 2
Right,
years.
right.
But it's
Yeah.
but it's a cavern for them.
Right.
And
Yeah.
then in the middle, that 2 years don't matter so much. You know, you might marry somebody 5, 7, 10 years older, whatever. But on the end I'm on, it matters again.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? So you just agree with me.
Yeah, I agreed with you the first time though. I did, because you're right. The younger you are, the bigger difference it is. The
Yeah.
older you are, it's really not. But 50, 55. Yeah, I probably would never date anybody as young as my son.
Yeah.
That is a terrible fear I have. to walk somewhere they be
and my
like,
daughter
"Hey,
is so intelligent that it would be difficult for me to bring anybody around her that did not have this.
They would have to be, and I think that they would have to be knowing your family. You'd have to be with a strong, confident woman because you have beautiful children, right? And then they'd be like, "This your daughter?" Because I know you get that a lot. This your daughter?
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause people think you be winning. I'm just the daddy.
Well,
What kind of
yeah.
daddy are you?
well, yeah, they people usually think we're a couple. Usually,
With my son, I get that with my son. I think I went somewhere one time and he was on the basketball court and he wasn't answering phone. So I go to the basketball court and girls up there like looking at me. I'm like, girl, I'm the mama. Oh, my bad. Yeah. But and I've had that, in the grocery store. They're like, I saw you with some dude. What dude? My son? Stop it. Stop. No.
So,
But-
Gabe, how old is two? Really quickly, because I know we got to get out of here. How young is? Well, you're 25, so that kind of limits to how young. But how old is too old for you?
Honestly, I don't have a number.
Did y'all hear that, ladies?
Yep.
And I'm lying because it's definitely a number. But
I got a friend,
mean,
she's like 87.
yeah, that's unacceptable.
And she already got a whole home with a whole bunch of rooms.
I bet she does. Yeah, nurses and everything.
I know I'm killing this plant over here. I know.
I'm gonna stop messing with you.
But
Honestly, I would say the oldest that I could be serious with is probably 35.
Do you have
To be ser-
children?
I don't.
Now she has kids at 35. If she has kids, are you still ready to take on that role?
Depends on the number of kids.
Mm.
Just because it's a lot that comes with multiple kids.
It is.
and for me, it would be how they had been raised.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of another way to say it, but how they had been raised.
Relationships with fathers, all
Yeah.
of that type of stuff is important.
Yeah.
So like
that
I
would
would,
be important.
it's a lot of information I would have to know about to just engage in that because I don't play with people's
See,
kids.
where we
So,
at with time? 'Cause I had one more question. Where we at?
Yeah, we
We
got
got
to go.
3
One
minutes.
question.
Okay.
Quick.
I guess my one question would be for the gentleman. If a woman is because women, you want women to be women, right?
mhm.
If a woman is into you, how does she tell you without being so forward and taking that masculinity away from you of being the man to catch her?
Wait, can you say that question one more time? I'm
Yes.
trying to make sure I understand.
If
it
a
right.
woman is into you, like she
Yeah.
likes you, how
Mhm.
does she come and tell you that she likes you without being so overbearing? Like, what is the word I'm looking for? Aggressive.
Oh, okay, I get what you're saying. Honestly, just tell me. I don't have time to sit around and just try to figure out what you feeling. Like, nah, just, if you feeling the type of way, let me know. Like, and then let me make the decision on how I want to move with that information.
Mhm.
I don't mind. In fact, I kind of like a woman that's assertive and says what's on her mind.
That's a good word. Assertive.
You know,
Uh-huh.
Now, an aggressive person, I don't want to deal with
Aggressive is
aggressive
different.
person. Period, male or female.
Aggressive
But-
is definitely different.
Yeah, but I respect a woman that is. I've had women in my lifetime walk up to me and and
And what they say.
and well, I'm trying to keep this. I'm trying to keep this PG, y'all. See, they
Oh,
They
so
were
that's what
not
they doing.
talking crazy like that.
60 something. Listen,
I I
but they say they don't got time for the in between.
now let me
Like-
give you an example of aggressive. I've had I was on stage and I've had a woman walk up to me and pop her blouse open and so
what'd you say?
well, first of all, I
Hey?
was on stage. I mean, so I did say hey because I mean, if you willing to show them, I'm willing to
You
acknowledge
didn't turn
them.
away or nothing.
No, I didn't turn my. I'm looking at the audience, so it ain't like I can. It ain't like I can turn my back to the audience. So
So
You
that
know.
means So she did that. That's to show you that she liked you.
Yes, that's what she said. She said she wanted to hook up with me when the show was over. I did not, but
I've never had a man come open his blouse to me.
That's crazy.
Just take me
Open his
out.
chest.
He's going to
No.
jail. He is going to jail. He can't do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That would be stalkerish, like,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, that's
Well,
crazy.
But it's okay for a woman to be a stalker.
well, I mean, it's in some circles, it's fashionable for a woman to, bare her breasts. I mean,
At a concert. I don't know
Yeah,
what show you talk.
wait. for example, Mardi Gras.
I
Yeah,
was about to say, give me an example where that is okay.
Mardi Gras.
And they don't do that for free. They do it for the bees, though.
Yeah.
At Mardi Gras.
He says it's for the bees. Y'all, he has a
it's
pocket
the-
full of beads over here, ladies. So
He's
Got some
being
ones,
dazzled. See, y'all, finally, I got to crack a joke.
I'm gonna bring some bees next week for each other. Yeah, and it's funny because women can approach a man in a certain way to where I'm sorry. There you go. Thank you. Women can approach a guy in a certain way to where I guess they don't feel some type of way. Some men approach a woman a certain way. It's like, oh, you're weird.
Yeah.
I just want to tell you I like you. It's kind of that little boy when little boys they want to hit on the girls when they like the girls.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's backwards to me.
That doesn't work when you get older.
It definitely
it
does.
didn't work then
When
either.
you get older.
It didn't work younger either.
But I mean, younger it gets their attention. Older, you get the police call on you.
Right. I'm gonna get
Oh,
you a
yeah.
girlfriend, all right.
Yeah.
But
So-
no, that's a good question. That's a good one.
It is. It is.
Thank you.
I guess we gotta get out of here. It is.
Is how many beads you got?
Enough.
That's like
Kim-
18 beads you got over there.
Our producer
She just
Kim
told
is
on
showing her.
herself.
She got she was in New Orleans. She got the beads.
Ooh.
She
Just told on herself.
What's my man's name in I'm gonna get you sucker? What's his name? The one that died of over gold.
Oh,
Yeah.
mm.
So
Oh,
but yes,
man.
it is time for us to to get out of here. Kimmy, thank you so much.
Oh, it's
for,
always fun.
we're gonna have to get you to be kind of a regular co-host here
You
because
know.
as you got a vibe, you bring some energy. I like it.
Thank you.
You know.
Thank you.
Don't
Thank
you think
I
so? Gabe?
enjoy
I
being
agree.
here. Y'all
I
are so much
definitely
fun. So
Yeah.
much fun.
Yeah.
Like
And
talking to the young and the seasoned gentlemen.
yeah, see, the old gentleman.
I didn't say old, I said seasoned. We aging like fine wine. We
yeah,
only
you
get
know
better
what
with
I'm
time, baby. That's it.
hey, I'm still standing. Now,
You hear me?
as the song
Yeah.
says, better than I ever did. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
So
I know more
anyway,
than I did last year.
So anything you want to say to the audience at large, or to Gabe, or to Kim, or to anyone?
Well, once again, everybody, make sure that you join us. Get on Eventbrite. Get your tickets for Verbal Vibes, our event that we're having on Saturday, May 4th. May 4th at 6:00. Get your tickets. Come join our conversation party. It's going to be fun. We have food, we have drinks, we have great people to conversate with. And just come out, bring a guest, and let's have some fun.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And again, just thank you so much for
I love it. I love it.
Gabe.
I'm gonna think of some more questions next week.
Yes, yes.
I'm gonna have some good ones next week. Y'all better be
Okay.
ready.
And this is the
Let's
kind
go.
of conversation you can expect
Mhm.
at the event.
Absolutely,
men,
absolutely. Maybe more because I don't know if this was PG or G.
this was
So the conversation
definitely
party, there's
G-rated.
no
Yeah.
questions
that
that cannot be asked.
This was
None.
G-rated, although we could have taken it farther, but we didn't. We kept it, where
I'm too young. I don't
know,
be listening.
Turn it up next week.
Yeah, there you go. So and we will be back next
Yes.
week, next Wednesday, same
Same
facts
time.
time, same facts channel. Until then, remember to love yourself, because if you do, it'll be easier to love somebody else.
I love it.
We're out, y'all. We see y'all next week.
All right, y'all take care.
Hey, this is Charlie,
This is JR.
host of Speaking the Facts with Charlie and JR, broadcasting live